Okay, welcome to another Derek Burleson Art. Today we're going to do another project on wood. This one I'm just getting ready for a show, craft fair, so I thought, well, we'll also do this one at our, I believe it's April or May, I don't remember which one we're on, 2025 class at our Council on Aging. But I think what I'm doing this one on wood for that one. Theirs, of course, will be on an 11 by 14 canvas, but it'll be basically the same concept. What I did to save a little time on here is I kind of took just a charcoal pencil, which I'll wipe off. I'll cover most of it up, and I made like a little watering can, something like that. Put some different flowers in there. I think we'll have some yellows, maybe some oranges. Purples. As you can see on my board or on my palette, I have a little gesso, which is white. I have Mars black, dioxazine purple. We'll put some purple flowers in there. I've went with phthalo blue. I think we're going to do the container in phthalo blue. A little cadmium yellow for some flowers, maybe some centers. A little cadmium orange. Not sure, we'll put maybe some orange flowers, and I got a little hooker's green over here on the side, maybe for some stems or whatever. I don't know yet. We're just going to kind of play it by ear. Who knows, we may change some of the colors. We may add a little bit of red or something in there. I don't know yet, but we'll go from there. So what I'm going to start out with today is I think I'm just going to grab my big old flat brush. This is kind of the big ones we use in class. I don't know what size it is. It's a fairly good size. It doesn't really matter what size you use, as long as you're comfortable with whatever brush you're using. I think that's the brush to use. The reason I'm using this kind of big old brush is, one, I try to use the brushes that I use in class, but I can cover fairly quickly. Now, what I did do on this one, this was a rough cedar. So I put it together, and then I took just a little bit of sandpaper. I don't know what it was, maybe a 120 grit. And then I just kind of sanded some of the high points off. Then I took my paper towel and wiped it down. But again, I've got this outline in a charcoal pencil, which you can do. That way it saves a little time. I think first what I'm going to start out with is, I don't know. I think I want this phthalo blue. I may change my color, my mind as we go, but what I'm going to do is, again, remember, we have a light side and a dark side. We have to have where the light's coming. So again, I think mine I'll have this way, so I think my dark side will be over here. So I think what I'll do first, I'll go into my water, wet my brush a little bit. I think I'll give me a better towel here than we'll just keep that there for later. All right, so I'll just kind of get that. Then I think I'll go in, because this is going to be my dark side, I think I'll go in with a little bit of that Mars black right there. Maybe a little bit, just a touch of diazazine purple. And maybe just a touch of phthalo. And we'll just kind of be on the black side, but I don't really like to just do a straight black, because it just doesn't look real. It doesn't quite look right to me. So. See where I'm at. Clean out my brush here a little bit. You don't have to really clean it out too much. You can leave some of that same old stuff on there. Alright, now I'm just going to go right into my phthalo blue on this side and see how I like it. Let me just kind of follow my edge. And let's come down here. And I might lighten that up as we go. And then come this way, and it's going to kind of curve around. Like I said, I may want to change the color of it. Just kind of depends on how it's looking. I may want to add just a little, make it a little bit lighter. But again, don't know yet. Not really that concerned about it. Just trying to get color on the canvas, or in this case on the board. And then there's my dark side, and I'll just leave that like that. We'll come around here. My leaves will be here. I think this is going to make a really neat painting to sell at the craft fair. I think this will be nice. And then what I do is I put some eyelets on the back, and then I take a wire and put back there so people can hang it, and you can hang it kind of anywhere you want. Let's see here. And then this is kind of dark up in here, but that's okay. And then we're just going to blend right into here. Now we're gonna make a middle color too. So, but see, I can just blend those in. And yeah, it's dry, but it's okay. The biggest thing to do is get color on. Get it on the canvas. Play with it. Something like that. And then bring it down here. Come around. There we go. And see, it still has that little cut to it, which is okay, because I'm going to just kind of bring it more. There we go. I kind of like that for now. Now, it's going to have a little more something like this to it. There we go. And then here. And I like that because it's going to kind of be turned there. And like I said, we can touch it up later. Right now, oops, I got a little. Again, remember I said we're not worried about that because we're going to put a shadow in here. Something like this. This is going to kind of be. Let me get that cleaned up. And let's just kind of put a little bit of that shadow in so you see what I'm talking about. So we know that it's going to be right in here. So this is going to be kind of where it goes into nothing. And probably just take that like this and then go out something like this. I think I add just a little touch of water to it just so it goes a little. Yeah, see, and it'll kind of just come out into here. Something like this. And we'll highlight it later. We're not too worried about it right now. Okay, so I'm going to go into a little bit of that gesso. I'm going to come over here and make me a little spot here. Or dry yet, so I can kind of pull. The wood is keeping it from drying real fast. But just kind of like this. There we go. And then kind of up in here, I'm just going to kind of put this on. Probably should have went to a little smaller brush, but that's all right. And let's just kind of put this on. And kind of in here. And remember, we'll straighten this up because I made the handle just really small because I didn't know how big I wanted it. Or how small, but I'm going to make it bigger. I just, I like I said, I start small, and then I get bigger with it because I can always make it. I can shape this edge here just a little bit. Just shape this edge here. A little bit more. Really dark. Okay, the hardest thing on boards that I'm finding is, especially this rougher grain, is it wants to bleed. So you got to be really careful on your paint stroke. And it seems like the wetter, of course, the paint is. It wants to run along some of these lines or some of these wood grains. Phthalo green would give me kind of a lighter color. And I'm going to come over in here because I'm going to have light hitting this. Have a light hitting it. And there's another reason that I want it. So now I can start shaping that again. Start shaping it. There we go. And then we'll just, and maybe a little bit right in here. I want to kind of define that line a little bit. Now this same brush, I'm going to go over here, and here's my Mars Black, and I'm going to tap the end of that, and then I'm going to come in here, get me some more. This is an easy way to do stars or holes in your, because if you try to use the brush in, sometimes they smudge on you. This you get a pretty good dot. Just be careful how much you put on it. It's a great way to make stars in the sky if you're not real comfortable with flicking. If you want to do Christmas tree, I do those at Christmas. Of course I do at Christmas. And we do different colors, and this puts the bulbs on the tree, so you can do yellow, and like I said, this is just a indication that that's where your holes are, and you can kind of put as many as you want. I've got a little bit too much on there. There we go. I don't want to get missing a spot, right here. Let's go into our flowers that we want to do. Now I'm still going to use this little flat. Alright, so I'm going to come up here, find my centers, and let's say I'm going to have this as a white flower, so I think I'm going to take some as yellow, maybe just a little orange. I think I want a little more yellow. I think I want more on the yellow side. And where my center is, I'm going to put maybe a little more yellow. I don't know if it shows up real good on the camera, but I like it. Okay, just a little something like that. And now, when I always say start small and get bigger, I kind of do the opposite when I'm doing flowers. Like the center, I'll make a little bigger because I'll bring the leaves or the petals into the center a little bit, making it smaller. If I make it too small, then I bring them over, then it kind of disappears. So and again, is that right? I have no idea. I have no idea. That's just how I do it. And I kind of put that orange in there just to change the color a little bit, but also it adds a little bit of, like there's shadow in there. All right, so we're just gonna call that one there. I think I'm gonna put another one right here, just for now. And we might highlight these later. Right now it just shows me where my little flowers are gonna be. Now I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna just say, like here, just a little green, just something like this. This is, I'm gonna kind of put some stems in where I think there might be a stem poking through. Maybe somewhere in there. This one might have one. And they might all get covered up when I start putting my flowers in. I don't know. But the funny thing is, if they don't get covered up, then you go, hey, there's a spot there. What's holding those flowers? So if I kind of start out by putting in the stems now, if any of it shows through, you'll see it. And you'll go, oh, yeah, I see it. I'm just putting a little bit in. I'm not going crazy because I know this is going to be covered up, and I know a lot of this is going to be covered up. But what I will do is we will add maybe a few leaves that maybe poking over. So I'm going to go into that green, that phthalo green, I'm sorry, Hooker's green, Get it on there. And then I might add just a touch of gesso, just enough to lighten that green just a little bit, but not a lot. All right, then I just go back and forth, get that loaded up in there. And now I'm gonna go right here. And see how that looks like a little leaf falling over? And I'm gonna do it right here. Boom, and then a little point there, and then maybe that leaf kind of comes this way and this way to a little point. Now, to kind of highlight it, I'm just going to kind of come in here, make them look like little leaves are falling over. You'll see just a little bit. And I mean, you can get really elaborate with your leaves. You can kind of come in and get some on there, and you can come in here and just kind of like that, and then make that leaf just kind of stick out there like, oh yeah, there's a leaf there. Got a little bit white, but that's all right. We can touch it up later. But again, these may be all covered up when I'm done. But I always think it's nice to put a few leaves in, just in case, maybe over in this spot. All right, so let's go into some of that white, that titanium white, and I'm loading my brush, and then I'm going to come up here where I was at and just kind of make a petal. Okay. Now remember, this is the first layer of your petal. Don't get frustrated. Like it didn't cover, or it's kind of funny looking. Remember, try and start smaller than what you want to end up. Now see how I said drag those down in there, and then I'll add a little bit of shading and color later. I could do that now. Maybe on the next one I'll show you how to do it. I think I showed it on my my painting with sunflowers. See, and that's a good thing about art, is you can, you know, it's your, like Bob Ross says, it's your world. You can put anything in it you want. If you want pink flowers, green flowers, whatever flowers you want. And that one's going to go over it. And see how this is kind of smudgy, but that's okay, because we're going to add more to it. This is just the first layer. And that one there, I'm not sure yet. Let me just hold off on that one. Let me do this one. With some orange. Now this orange is very transparent, so it'll probably take me a few. And then I'm going to make this in a little bit rounder, like that, instead of not so. Leaves a little, or my petals a little bit bigger. And then let's come in here and start doing this one. And again, this is just layer number 2. And we'll just leave that. Layer number 2 of, who knows, probably at least for this painting 4, I would say. Yeah, what I want front or back. So I'm gonna grab me my old scruffy, just a brush. It was probably a flat brush, like a chisel edge brush, and over time it just like started fraying, like kind of like this one is, or this one was really starting to. So I cut them, but I just kind of cut down through there, so it's not flat anymore. All right, so I'm gonna go into that diazonine purple. I'm gonna do a little bit of black in there with that first. I want to darken that up. Now I'm just gonna kind of tap up here a little bit and just kind of tap. And I think I do. And then there was one here. I probably should have put, because I wasn't sure if I wanted this one to go like through here, which I think I still do. So I'm just going to leave that for now, and then I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to take that same diazonine purple. I'm going to add a little bit of, well, let's come in here for a little bit of the white here. It's a little thicker. There we go. And now let's start seeing if we can put some highlights on it. Just kind of like where that, remember I said that light would come through? And so I just kind of make it a little bit more three-dimensional. And we might darken them or doctor it a little bit more later. I don't know yet. I'm not quite sure yet. I think I'm going to bring that down just a little bit, and then that one will kind of come over, but I'm not real sure yet. Something like that maybe. And then over here, let's just see. There we go. Okay. I like that. But the more I look at it, do I want another one here? And then kind of coming over. Just seems like this one's kind of bare. I may have to, I'll have to do a couple coats on it, but I think it just seems bare. Or something like this. This one here just seems like it should go that way more. Wish that one was more rounded. A little bit bigger. I think it needs to be bigger. And the center, don't worry about the center. We'll doctor the center. And then I think I'm going to take some of that yellows that's in that center and kind of pull them out onto my leaves a little bit. Don't worry, we're gonna redo the center, and that center there is about done. So, or it's dry. This one wasn't. I think our center will be somewhere in there, and a little bit of that orange. I want to make that a little bit. Remember, I said don't worry too much about shape right now. We'll reshape them as we go. There we go. And now let's see if we can get a little bit more in there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a hair of white, not much. Doesn't take much. And then lighten that a little bit. I'm going to come like that. There we go. I like that. Got a little bit more white, a little bit more. Mix it together. Like I said, if you go, oops, I don't like that, let it dry. Fix it. Remember I told you that my flowers will probably change 10 times through this painting. And it's just still wet there. I think that green, or maybe it's when I painted over it before. Okay, that'll kind of come over there. And then these, I said that I'd probably make bigger too, and I think I will. Like I said, I start smaller than I'm almost sure that I'm gonna finish, because I'll want to make it bigger, or if I think I want to make it bigger. But man, if you decide later, God, I wish I made that smaller, you're in trouble. You know, see, there was one in there, so and I wanted to go over the top, so I just got it right there. And like I said, I'm just reshaping the flower, kind of making it more symmetrical, because that's where I wanted it to be a little bit more. There, I think I like that. Then I'll go back in when that dries and color it. There we go. I like that. And that one there's kind of, I'm gonna go into black here, kind of. There we go. And I'll fix that. Remember I said, what do I want under there? I think I want them to kind of come down through there. There we go. And then see, there was a little yellow on that brush. It picked it up, but I kind of like it, so I'm just going to leave it there. It kind of looks like maybe the light's hitting off of that yellow a little bit. Okay, and again, I'm just highlighting a little bit, just kind of getting another layer, another layer, another layer. Go. Did I ever tell you I'm not a flower painter, but I do them because, yeah, people really like their flowers, and so I have the basic idea of flowers, and I've kind of studied them, looking at them outside, and you know what makes them, their colors and how they're formed, and then I can kind of go, okay, I can paint that. Where, well, you know, it's a flower. You may not know what kind it is, but you can go, hey, yeah, that looks like a flower, and I'd like to paint that. So I like the idea I can teach people to paint, and then the and then just kind of a little bit more white. I know. Just a little bit there. That's good enough. And just kind of blend that with. There we go. See, it kind of just keeps wanting to grab it. So I'm going to try to just. I'm trying to add a little color, and this is what I'm talking about, to the leaf or to the petals, so your eye sees that and kind of goes away from the let it be. I could always come back a little later and try to, or well, not try to, I could clean it up. But I think for now, just for now, I think we're just going to call that a done painting. Little something on the board. Like I said, we could spend hours and really make it look good. But I think for now, we're going to just take it and we'll put it on a canvas. We'll paint it on our class coming up in, I think, May or June. I can't remember. But I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you can paint along with us, watch it and enjoy it, get an idea, make it your own, and put different flowers in there, whatever you want. And hopefully it will make you feel good and you'll have fun doing it. Anyway, thanks for joining us. If you like what we're doing, hit that like and subscribe. Even leave a comment. Tell us what you might want to see me paint, what you'd like to see in the class, because we will paint this. I'll actually probably paint this one in the class. All right, anyway, thanks for joining me. Have a great day.